me like a Hellcat.
Before we get started, I have a favor. If you enjoy my content and want to see me continue to improve in both quality and size, please check out my Patreon linked in the description. Any amount helps and it is greatly appreciated. There are so many rewards for each level of donation, so go check it out. Now back to the video. Hey guys, this is Matt, the Emerald Avenger, and welcome back to Operator Analysis. Year 4, Season 5, aka Shifting Tides, introduced us to Kali and Wamai of Night Haven, a private military company owned and ran by Kali, adding a whole new faction and possible antagonist for the future of Rainbow. Both of these operators feel familiar, but when we get down to specifics, we'll see what makes them unique. Jamini Kalimohan Shaha, codenamed Kali, is an Indian attacker. Born to wealthy parents, her ability to achieve her goals was assured from an early age. This self-assurance hit a brick wall when she tried to join the military. Her interest in martial arts led her to enlist, but she quickly discovered that women aren't allowed to serve in combat roles. Despite all of her money and all of her social influence, she had found an obstacle between her and something she wanted, and it would not budge. Leaving the military, she created her own private security company to operate within India's borders. Then, a private military company, Night Haven, to operate overseas. She routinely negotiates multi-million-dollar contracts with incredibly favorable terms. Her ruthlessness is legendary, but by becoming a resource the Indian government desperately needs, she has circumvented the laws that kept her from her goal and revalidated her self-perception as an unstoppable force in a largely static world. Kali is a 2-speed, 2-armor op, and enters the fight with the CSRX 300 rifle, a super high caliber rifle with the capability to blast holes in soft walls and barriers, as well as one-shot down but not out any enemy she hits. This capability extends to being able to pierce multiple enemies and or walls with a single shot. As the only option for her primary, her gadget is attached to its barrel. This is the LV Explosive Lance, a fired reinforcement breaching explosive that can root itself into walls and, upon detonation, will destroy any gadgets within a short AoE. For her secondary weapon selection, she can take the C75 Auto Machine Pistol, my choice, or the P226 Mark 25 handgun. Her secondary gadgets are typical for attackers, either 3 breaching charges or 1 claymore. Back to her primary gadget for a moment. Thatcher makes comments about its design, calling it an honest piece of hardware, hinting to the fact that it, as well as Thatcher's EMP grenade, can cover the same range of utility with varying strengths and weaknesses. Where Thatcher has to both slightly expose himself and calculate his aim in addition to accounting for a Jaeger or Wamai, who counter both of them, Kali can sit behind her team and fire straight shots to her target. However, Thatcher does have more range with his explosive, and can bounce the grenade around corners. Kali is limited in the AoE of her explosives, and must have a direct shot. By this we can see that Kali has a very similar skill set to Thatcher. She can be better in some situations, but the general opinion of other content creators in the community is that Thatcher's the better option. Gunplay wise, she's actually incredible. If you have decent aim and are typically good at securing kills, you will dominate and even carry as her. As I said earlier, she can shoot through walls, and also players, a mechanic that warranted the devs to introduce a bullet penetration system. Compared to the other designated marksmen, Laz, and other operators able to bring a DMR, her low rate of fire and massive damage makes her unable to effectively play in close quarters, but totally dominating at long range, especially aided by her 5 or 12 times scope, while the other DMRs max out with an ACOG, also requiring multiple non-headshots to secure a kill. Kali is an interesting operator because she doesn't really have any soft or hard counters or synergies. Depending on how she's played, both Jaeger and Wamai can be counters, but if played right, she can avoid their utility entirely. Castle doesn't really stop her either, because one shot from a rifle can pierce through and break his barricades. Bandit and Kaid also don't counter her much, because the LV Lance is immune to electricity. Not even bandit tricking can stop it. The only way to break the LV is by actually shooting it from the outside. Physical barriers also don't stop her. Kali can stun, clash, and break deployable shields when she fires at them with her rifle. Doc is a soft counter, but only if Kali can't finish off the operator she downs. But that's an if-then scenario. Shield attackers are soft synergies, for providing additional cover for her to line up shots. But even more useful are the intel operators like Jackal, Lion, and Doc, who can spot enemies and track them for her, so Kali can hunt. Any operator who can breach, soft or hard, is a decent synergy as well, able to make additional sightlines for Kali to line up shots. Even Maverick can be used for this job. 3 additional specific interactions, Ying, Blitz, and Sophia, plus any flashbang in general, can be used to blind and disorient enemies, to make them easier targets for Kali to fire at. Despite the similarities that can be drawn between Kali and various other operators within the roster, she has a firm and unique slot to fill in a team, and overall is a rather powerful operator. Njuji Muchoki Furaha, codename Wamai, is a Kenyan defender introduced alongside Kali. Born to a fishing family on the coast of Kenya, Furaha spent his childhood hunting sharks and collecting lost treasure from the ocean floor. It soon became apparent that he was able to stay underwater far longer than his peers, and medical exploration revealed an abnormal physiology that contributed to Furaha's long-held belief that he was not from here. When the opportunity arose to join the Kenyan Navy, and later the Kenyan Special Boat Unit, he put his skills to good use. He quickly drew the attention of the generals within the Navy, as well as the worldwide scientific community, for his prolific and frequent record-breaking free dives. He later transitioned to Nighthaven, drawn by the promise of more downtime and a private boat to take him to where his next dive site might be. Wamai is a 2-speed, 2-armor operator, and is the first instance of a defender receiving the AUG A2 assault rifle as a primary weapon, and makes great use of it as well, being his main source of damage. Alternatively, he could run the MP5K SMG. His options for secondary weapons are the Karatos .375 or P12 handguns. Sort of typical for defenders, he can also bring barbed wire or deployable shield as a secondary gadget. However, for his primary gadget, Wamai is equipped with the Magnet, or Magnetic Neutralizing Electronic Targeting Device, which works utility-wise similar to Jaeger's Magpie, though placement-wise like Ella, and cooldown-wise like Legion, where it can be thrown and stick to surfaces, but places on charge that build up over time. Mechanically, like a Magpie, it stops incoming attacker projectiles. However, unlike Magpie, which destroys projectiles, the Magnet grabs and pulls them towards itself, resetting the cooldown timer and detonating them. This makes him have a slight weakness compared to Jaeger, reason being the explosion can cause collateral damage to both defenders and their gadgets. Though its placeability can counteract this drawback, being able to place it on the ceiling or in front of a window. They both counter any thrown or fired enemy projectiles, with the exception of Gridlock's floor spikes. Goyo makes for a great synergy for both of them, being able to trick attackers into trying to break Vulcan's shield with explosives, resulting in the projectiles being caught and detonating the shield anyway. Wamai is countered by IQ, as for all trapped defenders, because she can see his gadget with her scanner. Wamai and Fuse have a dynamic relationship. Wamai is able to capture 1 puck per magnet, but one of Fuse's gadgets fires 5 at a time. Therefore, Wamai is only able to prevent 20% of Fuse's utility per magnet, while Jaeger is able to counter all of it with a well-placed Magpie. Compared to Jaeger, Wamai's magnet is weaker than the Magpie. It has about the same range, it is more placeable, as well as having more of them in general, but each one only has a single use, and Wamai must stay alive to access all of his utility. Overall, he's a decent operator, but does fall short when compared to Jaeger. When it comes to holding his own, he's able to do that with his access to attacker weapons. He's overall my favorite operator from this season. Shifting Tides delivered to us a pair of familiar operators, who are somewhat weaker than their existing counterparts. Despite this, they each have their own unique strengths and situational usefulness, making them both welcome members to Rainbow Six Siege's roster. So thank you guys for watching. Is there anything I missed in this analysis? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below or in the Discord server link in the description. Also, did you like this season? So far, I have really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to all the patches that are going going to come through and just make general changes. I enjoy both these operators. I love playing Kali for her ability to get kills. I love playing Wamai just because he kind of fits my defensive play style. I also love his AUG A2. It's a really powerful weapon for a defender to have. All that aside, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Go follow me on all my socials. Keep up to date on my channel. Go to my Discord, join the conversation. Go to my Patreon if you feel like supporting me. This is EmeraldAvenger. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Peace out.